to our local non-league and back after a few weeks, and apologies for that. We've a new job and holidays and bits and bobs, so apologies to everybody from Ware and of course from Enfield as well. But of course, joining me as usual on this Sunday evening is the Ware manager, Paul Halsey. And Paul, and you must be a little bit gutted with that. Was it a last-minute goal, wasn't it? The equaliser?
Yeah, it was a last minute. Well, probably I looked at my watch, it was probably about 1:20 left on the clock, you know. Yeah, it's always disappointing. It's not the first time we've conceded that late on in a game, ended up drawing. You know, I always ask them to manage the game when they're out, when we're in that situation. But I just watched the highlights, some of the highlights, cut highlights, and I look at it and we've had enough chances to win that game. I know they had some chances in the first half, but second half, we had enough chances to kill the game off. And we didn't. So, yeah, really disappointed we conceded in the last minute. But, you know, overall, I said to the lads that I thought it was a much better performance from them. Asked them to play a little bit of passion and a little bit of aggression, and I felt we've done that. I think that we've not shown that of late, but overall, with the performance-wise, we just got to take our chances. You know, if you're going to be in the playoffs, and I look at the teams around us, they're nicking games. They're getting that little bit of luck. We don't seem to be getting that little bit of luck, you know. I thought that one of their goals was handball. Referee said his hand was down by his side, so you know it's a bit hard, but it is what it is, isn't it? So we had the same the week before with Welling. It was handball. His arms in the air because his back's to it. They're saying it's not a penalty, but it's what it is. Sometimes you got to, you know, you need that little bit of luck, that little bit lady luck and we don't seem to be getting that bit of luck at the moment, you know. But you know, we had some couple of lads putting some big performances yesterday, which I'm really pleased with, you know.
I mean, since we last talked, I mean, you had what, a 5-2 over Aylesbury, 1-0 defeat, as you said, against Welling in a 2-2 draw. But I mean, you got sort of a mixture of games coming up. I mean, you got Dunstable, who Harlow played at the weekend, you know, away this weekend. You got Wantage, then of course, the team that you gave a little bit of an eye into the last time you played them, and they might be looking out for a little bit of revenge there. And Barton Rovers at home in March as well. So there's a few sort of like, you know, sort of mix and match games in there, really.
Yeah, the Dunstable game's a rearranged one from the postponed one, but I always knew that the Welling and the Biggleswade games, they're always going to be tough games. The Wantage is going to be a tough game. Don't make no mistake about that, you know, because they're fighting for their lives, you know, at the moment. I know they lost to Hertford yesterday, but they are fighting for their lives. So they're tough games, all the ones down the bottom. You know, we've still got Burco at home. We've got Northley away. We've still got to go to Tame and Didcot. So we've got a tough running, you know. We've got 8 games. You know, they keep saying that we've got games, 10 games. Like, we need to win them. We need to win well, and we need to beat Biggleswade. But we're not doing it. And at the moment, we're making it really hard for ourselves. But one thing with my lot, you just never write them off. Can never write them off. They'll keep going until it's physically, mathematically impossible to be in the playoffs. Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed after the game, but you know, I've got to pick them up, and we've got to go again. We have to try and put it right on the training pitch on Tuesday, and then obviously go to Dunstable and look to put a performance in there. And then again, like you say, Wantage away, Barton at home. So all tough games, but we need to start winning. We need to start picking 3 points up. Teams are going away from us. So it'll be eventually out of our hands if we don't start winning games. So we've got a lot to do. But, you know, like I say, my boys will be up for it. I know they will. They won't give up. We have to take down listen, Biggleswade are a good side. You know, I know they lost their last 2, but before that, they was on 12-game unbeaten run. So, you know, they're not a bad side, good footballing side. And I knew that pitch would suit them because they like to knock the ball about. And let's be clear, they had chances to go into the league yesterday, but it's just bad finishing let them down.
So I mean, sitting outside the playoffs, I mean, 4 points outside the playoffs. You played 2 more games more than Welling, and you're on the same amount of games as Northfleet Dunstable in there. But I mean, is there somebody you've got your eye on in that in that playoffs? Is that you're sort of looking at as the mouse following the cheese, shall we say, to the one you want to try and catch?
I think it was before yesterday's game. We was a point clear, wasn't we, of Northfleet? So they're the games. There was the team I was aiming for, and then to stay in front there, and then try and beat them at their place was what I was looking at. But listen, there still be a lot of some of them teams in there have got to play each other, I think. So. Like I say, it's not over yet. So we just got to start getting back to winning ways. That's what we do. We've dropped 5 points in the last 2 games, but we need to start getting 3 points because we'll start running out of games. That's what will happen. But it's not over yet. We had Lee out yesterday. He's a big miss, but saying that, the boys done extremely well yesterday.
So I suppose on a bright note, I mean, and I suppose that's sort of a good way of going on to a bright note. I mean, what was your new floodlights like yesterday?
We didn't use them.
We didn't use them.
Don't need it. It weren't dark, was it? So, but we've used them in training, and mate, they're so much better, so much brighter.
Yeah,
they're brilliant. It's a great job. I just got to finish off the wiring. But we probably won't get to use them in a fixture until next season, I don't think. So now, but they're brilliant. They're so much better, so much brighter.
So what about injury wise?
Really
where are you with all your injuries and stuff? I mean, are we getting people back? Are we still struggling?
We're struggling a little bit. We had, you look at my bench yesterday. Really, Robbie Buchanan and Lee Rose were both out. Chris Arthur was on the bench, couldn't bring him on really, he was struggling. Liam Dawson was struggling a little bit, still not fully fit after his injury. So at the moment, we had the chance to play a friendly on Tuesday. I've had to decline that now today. Because I'm got too many injuries that I don't want to risk. I've also got chance a couple of lads to play for someone, a local team at Step 5 on Wednesday. We'll look at that. A couple of players that need minutes, but injury-wise, we've got to be really careful how I manage it. So, we had Lou Rose back yesterday, our skipper. He'd been out. He's only really had 90 minutes in the cup and then 90 minutes in a friendly. I mean, he had 4 games out over January. He's back now. He played well considering he's not had 90 competitive in the league. So pleased with that. But injuries, just got to manage that, mate. We are really... we ain't got the biggest squad, so we just have to manage it. Taff come off injured yesterday. Taffy, he came off injured, so we'll have to assess him Tuesday. I'd imagine he'll be all right for Saturday, though.
And of course, looking at this, one of the playoff teams playing on tomorrow. No, sorry, where are we? Tuesday night. Was Berkhamsted are away to Kempston Rovers. Do you expect to see them just pick up the points?
Not easy to go there on a Tuesday night. Kempston Rovers. Scotty, I know Scotty well. He'll set up to try and win that game. And he needs to win that game because they're in the relegation now, in the bottom 3. So they will need to win that. So this can be a tough game. Yeah. These are the times where you think teams are going to push on now and go away. But you also know in football that these teams can slip up against teams that are at the bottom. I'm telling you, it happens. and we all know that happens. So it'll be a tough game for them, but you'd expect them to win that. I would expect them to win it, if I'm honest. But they would have a tough game there, especially on a Tuesday night.
And I mean, a bit like what you were saying about games, but people playing each other. I mean, Saturday week you got Northlear got against Welling Garden City in that game there. There's also, I think, Dunstable got St Neots as well. So there's some big games where hopefully that I think you'll be looking at it that. How would you look at it? I mean, would you look at it that the best result in those games when they're playing each other is draws, or would you say the best results for you would be for one or the other to win?
Tricky, isn't it? It depends where we are in that situation. I would imagine draws, but a point is better than no points. It really depends, because how the results might go Saturday. We get 3 points, and Welling drop 3 points, and Northleigh may drop 3 points. You don't know. So, and then in that case, that scenario, if we can go and win the next game, by the time that happens, they a point apiece for them that we've caught up. Whereas if one of them gets 3 points, if Northleigh beat Welling they've still got their 2 games in hand, that's an half task then, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So. It's a lot of twists and turns still going to happen. I think it's been quite exciting, but the most important thing, we've got to make sure that we do our jobs and start getting the points on the table.
No, absolutely.
So that's the worry about us getting through out them.
Well, listen, mate. We wish you all the best with it. Of course we do, and hopefully, just as the reception starts to break down a little bit, but I mean, we hope you get your points and get in there. But there's one last question, something that I sort of heard yesterday as well, sort of rumours flying around. I mean, say for instance next year, and we're all still in this sort of division that we're in now. I mean, what are you expecting for next season? Are you still expecting to be in the in the Southern League Central? Or are you expecting the club to be moved sideways again? I mean, what are you expecting?
David, I wouldn't have a clue, mate. I don't even know where they start with all that. But I don't know. I've not heard no rumours of we're going to be moved here, there, or where. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me. You just don't get no stability, really. Keep being moved from one league to another. Because when you feel like you've conquered that, then you get moved again and you start all over again. New teams. I've enjoyed this league, but if we're in this league, we don't get promoted, I'll sit down with the chairman and we would have to look at what our ambitions are. And as long as we're going in the same paths, which we will be, I know that, but hopefully that, we'll set up to go and try and win that league again. Yep. But we'd have I would have to probably do a little bit of rebuilding. A couple of my players ain't getting any younger. So we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll concentrate fishing this league and trying to get promoted. And then I'll just wait for whatever they decide. Because we don't have no say in it.
I mean, you could go into the playoffs, though, couldn't you, I suppose? Go into the playoffs, win the playoffs, and find yourself in the Isthmian Prem.
Yeah, 100%. I said that before. So that is exactly right. That's exactly what could happen. So, but like I say, let's just wait and see.
We'll
have to wait and see.
On a funny side, though, I just suppose you don't want to get promoted and end up in the Northern Prem.
No, not really. It'd be silly if they stick us in that, but yeah, it'd be silly.
Go play South Shields. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, listen, mate.
Lovely, eh?
Massive thank you for joining.
I'll take you along. You can do the interview up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you've got Kevin Phillips if you get up there. But thanks for that. And we wish you all the very best with the games coming up. And hopefully, again, we'll speak next week after the game next week.
All right, David. Lovely. Thanks for talking to you, mate.
No worries, mate.
Take care, mate.
Mate, bye.
All right, mate. Bye-bye.